Hi everyone, it's Carolyn again, and I've got some more tips and tricks for you to get a meal on the table quickly and easily. Okay, so now I promise all my posts are not going to be about the crock pot, but we are going to do a few more things today because this utensil is just really so versatile and you can do so much with it, really you can. So one of the first things that you can do with a crock pot is to poach chicken breast in it. Now, I just used a fancy cooking word, poach. What does that mean? All that means, just like a poached egg, all it means is you're cooking it in water or broth or liquid of some sort, okay? That's all it is. Now you're thinking to yourself, what do I want a bunch of poached chicken around for? Let me tell you, you can use it for a lot of things. So let me show you the first way to do it. What you want to do is you want to take your chicken breast, put it in your crock pot, and add chicken broth to cover, okay? And you're going to turn your crock pot on low for about 3 hours. Now, if you have really big chicken breasts, like these are really big, you want to check it at about 3 hours, make sure they're cooked all the way through. If they're not, leave it and let it go. If they're smaller chicken breasts, 3 hours is probably plenty. What you can do once those are cooked after about 3 hours, you've got meals for days. You can make tacos out of it. You can add it to salads. You can make fajitas out of it. You can make a taco salad out of it. You can add it to another casserole later in the week. So you can do a lot of things once you have cooked chicken breast in the refrigerator. By the way, this is also a great tip if you're trying to watch your weight. You know, while we're home all in quarantine, it's so easy to go to the cupboard and get a bag of chips. It's so easy to, just graze on this or that. But if you know that you've got some cooked chicken breast in there, like I said, you can make a taco instead of eating those chips or whatever. So that's my first tip. Now, if you don't have canned or boxed broth like this, you can just put water in and add a couple of bouillon cubes. Or my personal favorite when I don't have the broth is to use this better than bouillon. I really like this stuff. This is more of a paste. And you add that to the crock pot and it'll melt in with the water as it gets hot and it'll become the broth that you need. Okay? Very simple. Okay? Next thing that you can do, and this is one of my favorite things to do, is you can also cook beans in the crock pot very easily. And my favorite ones to do are pinto beans because Gary and I absolutely love Mexican food. So when I make pinto beans, it's always a feast night, you know. We have burritos and green chili and we have chips and salsa and it's great and we just love that. Now with pinto beans, you want to be careful, pinto beans in particular. You want to give them a look before you put them in the crock pot and just make sure that there are no little stones or little like imperfect ones. Sometimes you find these little hard ones and I can see one right there that's just kind of it's not very good. You want to pull that out because it's not going to cook correctly. Today, however, what we're going to do is we're going to make a navy bean and ham soup. Okay, and what I have over here on my left is a ham bone left from Christmas, and if you can take a look at that, you can see there's still a lot of meat on that, and I hate to throw that out, but it's not really enough for sandwiches. So what I do is I just wrap that in plastic wrap, and then I put it in a Ziploc, and I put it in the freezer, and then one cold, stormy, snowy day, I will make ham and bean soup with that. So that goes in the crock pot like that, and then you add a pound of the navy beans, okay, that, and then I'm going to give this a little shake, and then you get the chicken broth, and these boxes are 4 cups, so this should be enough to make a really nice pot of soup. And you'll notice I have my liner. We talked about that yesterday, about these great crock pot liners. I just love them. They just save so much work. All right, you do that. And then you add 1 small onion diced up. Now I've already diced this up, so you didn't have to watch me do that. Okay, and about 2 or 3 carrots, also sliced up, peeled and sliced up. And normally I would also add about 2 ribs of celery. I didn't happen to have any ribs of celery in my fridge today, so I'm gonna leave that out. It's not a big deal, honestly. And then I'm gonna add, probably like 2 bay leaves to this, okay? And that's really all there is to it. We're gonna put the lid on it and we're gonna let that go probably a good 6 hours. And you'll notice I'm using my bigger crock pot today, just because that bone takes up a little bit more room. Anyway, so that's all there is to that. And then you're gonna let this go, like I said, about 6 or 8 hours. And when you're done, you're gonna have a really delicious, really hearty navy bean soup.
What temperature?
My husband is asking me what temperature to put it on. So I'm saying probably low for 6 to 8 hours, okay? So that's all there is to it, and I'll put the recipe at the end with the ingredients, and there'll be a picture at the end as well of the final product. So hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your feedback, and if you have ideas for what you'd like to see me cook, let me know and I'll see if I can work that out. Hi everybody. A couple of things that I forgot to mention when talking about beans. Now when you recook your beans, when you want to reheat them, so you've made them in your crock pot, okay, and you want to reheat them later on, maybe the next day you want to make some huevos rancheros, you're going to put your beans in a pot on the stove and you're going to add some water to them, because beans will suck up all the liquid. They will just soak it up and they'll be very stiff. So in order to get them a little creamier, add a little bit of water, a 1/4 cup, a 1/2 cup, something like that. You'll know. And if you do put too much water, just cook them a little bit longer and they'll cook down a little bit. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, if you haven't used your crock pot in a while, or if you have an older model, something you might consider is it cooking as efficiently as it could? A friend of mine mentioned to me one time that he was cooking something in his crock pot and it just wasn't cooking. And when he's kind of a mechanical guy, and he said he took a look at it and he realized that the heating element was gone, or was going on it. And I never considered that. I never considered the heating element would go. So, and I had a similar problem where I had a pot roast in the crock pot, and the potatoes after 6 hours were still kind of hard. And I thought, there's something wrong here. I bought a new crock pot and voila, the problem was gone. So like I said, if you have an older model, you might want to consider upgrading and getting a new one. I really like the Crockpot brand. They invented the technology, I think, and they just know it best. So but that's just my opinion. So take it or leave it, but just be aware that the heating element can go out on these. I hope you enjoy the recipes on the beans, and I'm gonna go plug this in and hopefully we'll have navy bean soup for dinner tonight.